Mami says hello from Richmond, Virginia. That's amazing. AT Success 3 says, so why don't you reply messages here? I do reply as much as I can. I have my able assistants who help us with, um, who help me with replying all the messages because you know how it is. Life can get very, very busy. So they help me to respond to all the messages. I hope you're all doing great. So today we're going to be discussing J1 visas. Okay, J1 visas. Let me create a banner for Facebook. J1 visas. Okay, that's what we're going to be discussing today. So, what are J1 visas? What are J1 visas? We're going to be taking a look at that, and then we'll look at the special thing about J1 visas and what to do if you have that special mark on your J1 visa. Okay. All right. So generally, if you are a citizen of another country, or yes, of a foreign country, and you wish to come to the US to partake in an exchange program, you can be given what's known as a J1 visa. Okay, so guys, I'm on both Facebook and on Instagram, so my angling may be a little odd, but hopefully you guys will be fine with it. So I'll give you the chance to ask questions when we're done, so bear with me. If you want to come to the US on a non-immigrant type of visa and you want to partake in an exchange program, the exchange visitor category is known as the J1 visa. And these are for individuals who are approved to participate in the exchange visitor program. Okay. And there are many categories under which you can partake in this program. So you can come to the US as an au pair, and educare. So au pairs are like babysitters, or if you take care of children, you come on an exchange program. So you have an agency in your home country, and you sign up with them, and then you will be allowed to come to the US to take care of children. You're matched with a home, and then you come and then you do babysitting or whatever that's allowed by the J program, okay, the exchange program. You can be a camp counselor, you can be a government visitor, intern, international visitor, physician, professor, research scholar. All these are under the exchange visitor categories through which you can get a J1 visa to come to the United States and partake in the cultural exchange program. Okay, then short-term scholar, specialist, student, summer work travel, teacher, a trainee. So all these are some of the categories under which you can, come to the US and then you come as a J1 visitors. You come as a J1 visa holder. Okay. So that's the J1. What is the J1? That's what a J1 visa is. Now, when you come on a J1 visa, normally some people who are on the J1 visa, they are subject to something known as the 212E home residency requirement. So under the Immigration and Nationality Act, Section 212E, if you have this mark on your visa saying that you're subject to 212E, it means that you need to return home to your country. After doing the exchange program, you need to go home for 2 years before you can come back to the US to attempt to get a green card or to adjust your status or receive any other type of visa. So, guys, remember that the J1 visa is for exchange, cultural exchange. So, the point is that people, the US wants people to experience their beautiful country. You know how it is when you get something new and amazing, or maybe you have a very beautiful house or a beautiful car. You want everybody to experience it. It's like, look at my car, look at my house. Okay. That's how the J1 cultural exchange is like. The US is excited about its country and they want other people to come and enjoy, or to come and, learn from the US and also impart some of their own rich culture that are coming from their countries into the US. And so they allow people to come on this cultural exchange program. So you're coming as an au pair, you're coming to teach the children, the home you're matched with, some of the food you cook at home. So if you're cooking spinach stew in a certain way, or jollof, Ghana jollof, you want to come and show people, okay, this is how I cook my Ghana jollof. And then you teach the children some of your culture. And then you also learn from the US and take it back to your country. So the point is that you cannot come on an exchange program and then refuse to go back to your country. Then the point of the exchange or the cultural exchange, that loses its essence, right? Because you're supposed to be bringing and then taking away. So sometimes some of these exchange visitors with the J1 visas, they are subject to the 212E rule. Means that when you come here, you cannot suddenly find a handsome man or your Prince Charming and say, okay, marry me, I never want to go back to my country. It doesn't work that way. If you are subject to the 212E, it means that you have to, after you are done with the exchange program, you need to depart or leave the US, go to your country, stay home for 2 years and teach your country what you learned about the US, right? It's sort of like you've come to school and you're going back home to teach the lesson. You've imparted, now it's time to also go back and impart. So if you're subject to the 212E, it means you have to leave the US at the end of your exchange program under the J1 visa requirement. So if you are subject to this rule, then you will need to actually request a waiver if you don't intend to go back to your country. You have to waive the requirements, the home residency, the 2-year home residency requirements. You need to waive it in order to be allowed to stay here and to make sure that kind of it's not held against you that you did not leave the US after your program. Okay, so I see Bismarck Crosby on Facebook who's waving the Ghana flag. Thank you, Bismarck. Where are you watching from? Okay, now, in order to know whether or not you're subject to this 212E bar or this restriction, you need to look at your DS2019. The DS2019, if you look below section 8, number 8, it will tell you whether or not you're subject to the 212E restriction. You can also look at your visa annotation, the J1 visa. Sometimes it will say Bera is subject to the 212E restriction or the 212E rule. Sometimes the DS2019 does not stipulate or does not indicate whether or not you're subject to the 212E restriction. And sometimes also there's a discrepancy between the visa annotation and the DS2019. Okay, so if there's no indication and you're not sure whether or not you're subject to the 212E restriction of going back home, then you need to file request and advisory opinion with the Waiver Review Division, Department of State. Ask them, am I supposed to go back home to Ghana or Nigeria or to India or Pakistan, or can I stay on in the US after my J1 visa program, and can I adjust and become a green card holder, or can I do something else with this status that I'm in? So you can, number one, request an advisory opinion, and then you can find out whether or not you're subject. Now, if you're certain that you're subject, you look on the DS2019, it will be there, you're subject or you're not. If it says that Bera is not subject to the home residency requirement, 2-year home residency requirement, then of course you can continue to adjust your status. If you've met your beautiful woman or your handsome man, you can adjust your status, and then they can file an application on your behalf with the USCIS, and then you can get a green card. Okay, all right, thank you. So if you are subject to the 212E, that means you're subject, you need to go back home. You're subject to the 2-year home residency requirement. What you can also do is that you can actually request a waiver of that requirement. You need to request a waiver of that requirement, and you can file that waiver again to the US Department of State, and then they will decide whether or not they are going to allow you to waive that requirement. Okay. And as part of the filing, requesting that they waive the 2-year home residency requirement, you have to submit additional documents or supporting documentation. Okay. Um, and normally there are 5 bases of recommendation of a waiver. The first one is a no objection statement. So with this, you normally have to apply to the your country's embassy in DC. Every country is represented by an embassy in DC. So there's the Ghana embassy in DC. There's the Japan embassy in DC. There's the Nigerian embassy in DC. Jamaican embassy in DC. Whichever country you're from, there's the embassy located in DC. You can file a no objection statement, and this statement, you're asking them, your country. This time, you need the cooperation from your country. You need your country to state that they have no objection to you remaining in the U.S. after your period of your exchange program. Okay. So once you do that, there's a process to doing that with every country. Your country will determine how you should file this no objection statement, and then you can proceed with that. You can also request, there can also be a request by an interested U.S. federal government agency that says that, "Ooh, we found this person. Maybe she's amazing. We want her here." An interested federal agency, government agency will say, no, they don't want you to go back because maybe you're imparting so much rich knowledge. They need you in the US. So they'll file on your behalf and say that, look, we want this person not to go back to their country because they're helping us so much. They're doing amazing stuff here. We want them to hold on. Okay, then you can also say that, okay, look, if I go back to my country, I'm going to be persecuted. People are chasing me. Based on some political affiliation or whatever reason, or based on the fact that I am a gay person or a lesbian, based on my sexual orientation, I cannot go back to my country. I'm going to be persecuted. So because of that, Department of State, please waive this 2-year home residency requirement. I'm on a J1 visa. I cannot go back to my country. Waive it so that I can continue to stay here in the United States and apply for a green card, for example. Okay. The next thing is you can also file a waiver based on exceptional hardship to a U.S. citizen or green card holder, spouse, or child. Okay, so if you're on a J1 visa and you get married and maybe your husband suddenly develops cancer or is, heavily pregnant, has crazy complications, and if you leave, they're going to be an exceptional hardship. You can file the waiver to the Department of State saying, look, I know I'm on a J1 visa. I know I'm subject to the 2-year home residency requirement, but bear with me. I cannot leave. I cannot satisfy that. I need to be here. Waive that restriction. Allow me to stay here because if I leave, there's going to be exceptional hardship to my U.S. citizen, green card holder, spouse, or child. Okay. Now, the next ground, or the next basis for which you can request a waiver for your J1 212E restriction is that there can be a request by a designated state's public health department or its equivalent under the Conrad State 30 program. So you don't need to understand all these things. Contact me if you need help with filing a waiver or finding out if you're subject to the 2-year home residency requirement if you have a J1 visa. Okay, so I saw that some people had some questions. At Success 3 says, I'm watching from DC. I really have a question. Okay, let me know what the question is. If it's something we can discuss here, then we will discuss it. And if we need to talk more one-on-one, I will invite you to call my office or DM us, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, guys, so let me know what your questions are. Drop your questions or concerns. Drop me a wave. Welcome, guys. We're almost done. We've done 15 minutes already, so I'm going to hop off here if there are no questions coming in. So if you have the J1 visa, you need to be sure to look at whether you are subject to the 212E restriction. This 212E restriction means that after the program, you need to leave to your country, spend 2 years before you can attempt to come back and try to get a green card or try to even adjust or change your status, okay? I hope this video has been helpful. And I know I haven't come on live in a long time, but I'm going to be coming on live more often. It's just always crazy busy, one thing after the other. So bear with me. Um, Yao Sankofa says that, can I have can I get married here in America? I don't have a visa. Yes, you can get married here and adjust your status and get a green card, even if you don't have a visa. Normally, if you get married to a US citizen, that could work. Again, you need to see how did you come in. If you were inspected and admitted, um, that could help you. If you came in without inspection, that's a whole new other beast. There are still some exceptions through which we can help you still get a green card, but just make sure your marriage is genuine. It's a bona fide marriage, and you're not getting into the marriage only for a green card. Okay, so contact us, and then I will give you more guidance because it's more complex than I'm saying it. So I need to review everything and then assist you and tell you what you can do. Okay. At Success said it's about parole applying for work authorization. Please, how does it work? So if you're applying for, where are you based? If you're here in the US, you can apply for something known as an advanced parole. If you're filing a main application such as an adjustment of status through marriage, or an asylum application or a VAWA application or whatever. And then you can apply for an advanced parole. That's a travel document, and then a work permit. You file all those things as part of your main application. So if you're filing for a work permit, that's the I-765. If you're filing for an advanced parole document, that's the I-131. You file those as part of, for example, an adjustment of status application. If you file them as a combo with the adjustments, you don't pay fees. That's a good thing. Those fees, I-765, I-131, are waived with the adjustment of status application. And during the process, you'll get your travel document and your work permit. Okay. So that's that. Oh my gosh, the questions are coming. Somebody says, Madam, can I win an asylum with your help? Of course you can. It depends. If it's not you have a genuine asylum case, certainly please contact us, and then we can take a look, through a consultation, review your situation, and then we'll be able to assist you. Okay. So I have somebody says, how do I reach you? Our number is, I should put that on the screen. For some reason, our number is 802-7800-564. Just send us a DM, send us a message, or just call us, or also visit our website, akpokulaw.com, akpokulaw.com, and we will be happy to assist you. Okay. We will be happy to assist you. Now, let me put a phone number here, 802-780 0564. Okay, right here. There you go. If you're calling from outside Ghana, outside the US, it's 001, of course, the code. But you can also reach us on WhatsApp. So yes, that's our phone number right there on the screen. On Facebook, unfortunately, on Instagram, I'm not sure how I can do that. So we will. Please, how do I reach you? Okay, I've sent you I've mentioned the number, DM us, and then we'll be happy to assist you. All right, friends. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick live video, and you're doing fabulous. Prettiest Feli, how are you doing? You joined in quite late. We're almost done. All right, guys. I will see you in the next video. Take care and stay safe. All right, bye. Thanks for joining. Hi, Facebookers. Oh, okay. I think there's a couple of questions here. Yes, Click B Consulat says what number. I put up the number. Mr. Francis Gavin says very educative and precise. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And he's put up our number right there. That's it for you, okay? And then Rita says, have order for judge to my wife file to one I-130 hearing individuals. Are you francophone? Reach out to us. I'll be able to assist you, okay? All right, guys. I will see you soon in the next video. Bye-bye.